All right. I hope you enjoyed your meal. Do we have any guesses as to what kind of fish that was? I mean, fish folks. I don't know. Let me introduce the head table. Of course, Jenny Vail, Dr. Vail, our honoree today. Mike Ray, our chairman from Texas. Chris Blankenship, our first vice chairman. And Joe Gill with his better half, Helen, as our second vice chairman. So that's the head table. They give me this opportunity and occasionally, and I'm thankful for that because of what Jenny has meant to us. But before we get into that, would you like your good news first or your bad news first? The good news. All right, the good news is Borden Wallace and who else was on that team? Blankenship. Oh yeah, stand up, Chris. And who else was it? Was that Ringer from Louisiana? Claude. He's not. I thought I saw him come in. All right. Anyway, this team. Kevin Anson. Yeah, stand up, Kevin. All right, that's the good news. Now, they win, public acclaim and the stick. The stick is an authentic English swagger stick, which they have to give back next year, but, that's the bragging rights. I would make one historical note. Y'all can sit down. I would make one historical note. In this very room right here was the last time the original swagger stick was seen. It's documented on film. Bob Jones was a recipient. It was arranged differently, and it was sitting right in front of my table. And then that's the last time we ever saw the authentic English swagger stick. We had to buy another one. So I called the hotel, and and nobody knows how much you spend. They can't find the swagger stick. So I guess they threw it out. They just thought it was a stick. All right, now the bad news. The bad news. The losing team, where is Reed? He's not here. Who is on the losing team besides? They're all gone. Well, that team, I don't know who all was on it, but Reed was on it and some others. They get the rubber chicken, and they have to prominently display the rubber chicken in their office for a year, and they have to bring that back for the last place team. And they've had that for 3 years running. It has a perfect place for them. Okay, that's enough of the foolishness. Now let's get down to what we're here for. Dr. Jenny Vail is the Charles H. Lyles Award winner for this year. Dr. Vail, Jenny to us, is here for recognition of her career's body of work. The Charles H. Lyles Award, named after Charles Harper Lyles, my predecessor, is given annually for biological, administrative, enforcement activities which contribute to the betterment of fisheries throughout the Gulf of Mexico. And Jenny Vail certainly meets the criteria for being publicly recognized and held up for public acclaim for her contributions. I would focus your attention on the back there, the recipients. I draw your attention to that. That's a pretty impressive list. That's a pretty impressive list. And so this award is not taken lightly by the commission, nor given lightly, as you can see by the people that are on this list. She said on a few occasions that she's not a marine fisheries scientist. She worked with earthworms and snails and what have you. But What you apply yourself to do in the administrative realm is not determined by your basic science foundation, as we see with her career. Having served over 23 years, and I didn't realize it was that long, having served over 23 years with the commission proper, Jenny's one of the very best models for Gulf States Marine Fisheries Commission commissioner. She has traits of consistency, dependability. She has attention to detail. Attention to detail. She has a true passion for our work as well as our organization. She has a very collegial spirit among her state director counterparts. She fits in well. She responds to our needs and time frames. And last but not least, she has a great personality that we all love. We've drugged this woman to Mexico turtle beaches in 120 degrees, 70 miles offshore. Wherever she's game. She's game. So, she has a great personality we all love. Dr. Vail, we are here to give you that public acclaim for you so richly deserve. This is your day, and this is your award, and this is our gift back to you for what you have done in your career. Now, I intentionally kept this short because I know for a fact there will be several individuals that will want to make a comment. But before we do that, Jenny, could you follow me down these steps a minute? If I don't break my leg. We give a award of symbolism. We've had different artists, renderings and so forth. And knowing her extreme pleasure and so forth of dealing with birds and things, we thought this might be apropos. If I don't break it. Help me, Debbie. Don't knock it off. If you might see this. This is a carving, and he signed it. And those of you who have a chance to ride through Highway 90 along Mississippi coast, you'll see the carvings that this man does with some of the dead trees and so forth. And he wanted to make a statement. We have dolphins, we have all kinds of things. And we thought maybe that you might enjoy this and remember us when you look at it. Its tag is presented to Virginia A. Vail, Gulf States Marine Fisheries Commission, Charles H. Lyles Award, October 18th, 2011. Of course, don't worry. We'll have it all shipped back securely to your place, along with the video and along with the pictures and along with the slideshow. So let's all give our thanks to Dr. Vail for... Now you're going to get the last word, so you just sit right there. Now, those of you who would like to make a comment about Jenny, please come up here. We have to record it so that it'll make it on the video. If we don't do that, then we can't hear it very well. We're learning in this process. Who would like to say something? Come on, Mike. Come.
Jenny, again, congratulations on winning the Charles Lyles Award. I'll tell you what, we really admire your many years of service, and certainly I really I feel very fortunate to have known you for quite a few years, and certainly our friendship has really been something that I do hold special. And I do say, if you look at some of these photos here, Jenny certainly has had a hand in having us go to many, many very unusual and fun places to hold our meetings, and to that I thank you as well. And for whatever reason, I guess one of the things that I remember the most was right here a number of years ago. And of course, New Orleans doesn't need too much of a reason to have a party, but we were here on Halloween one time, and I'll tell you what, we went out together and partook of various people and watching them and stuff, and I've never seen anything quite like it. And I'll say we laughed so hard it really hurt. But anyway, I certainly remember that. But anyway, thank you very much for all that you've done.
All right, someone else. Come on up. Charles H. Lyles Award recipient. I should have mentioned the fact, while he's coming up here, I'll kill some time. Most all of the people on this list.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simpson. You better be careful. You know, he ate some cantaloupe recently. He's not looking too good. Jenny, sincere congratulations. Award you certainly richly deserve. It's been an extreme pleasure for me to have had the opportunity to work with you for so many years. Jenny was a quiet leader. She didn't make a lot of noise like some people do. Yet she got things done. I was always amazed at how she could be so calm, yet so successful in the leadership role that she's played. She's probably, well, she's got to be the most well-liked chairman this commission has ever had for a number of reasons. But one thing that I picked out under Jenny's leadership, Bubba's staff has now exceeded 20. She's got 22 people on the staff, and all these discussions we've been having about how we're going to spend all of this money on traceability or certification and marketing and all this good stuff was through her leadership. You know, it's while she was chair. I think when I was chair, the commission lost employees and we lost money, but this is the kind of job she did, and I'm just very thankful that I've had the opportunity to work with Jenny over the years and with all of you. But Jenny's day, and she certainly deserved it.
Anyone else? Anyone? Be careful. You don't want to ruin that other link. Anyone else? Okay. We're going to quit. All right. I'll tell one story. Jenny and I don't know where the meeting was. We were in St. Pete, somewhere. Anyway, we were going out to dinner one night. And one of my most favorite restaurants is a place called Louis Papa's in Tarpon Springs, and we were in like St. Pete. Well, that's 25, 30 miles away, I don't know. But we had access to a car, and boy, I just couldn't wait, man. We drove down to Louis Papa's. It was going to be a great meal and so forth. We pulled up, and there was a for sale sign on it. But we were undeterred. We went to a great Italian place and had a wonderful meal, but she and I shared the pain of losing one of our best restaurants that I've ever been in. Okay? With that, Jenny Vail.
I don't know what to say other than thank you. I never dreamed that I would be nominated for and actually receive the Charles H. Lyles Award. The list of my predecessors is so impressive that I just never put myself in that category. And then listening to Larry and other speakers, I'm going, did I do that? I can't believe it. But then all those pictures brought back memories, and as you saw, I came to marine fisheries management by a rather winding road, involved land snails, fire ecology, freshwater snails, environmental education. I used to do birthday parties at the research station I worked for because nobody else was available to do them. That was the python picture. Then I got into land acquisition, and we surveyed plant communities. Plant communities? What are they? I learned at one time I could identify a whole bunch of plants at 60 miles an hour going down the road. Then suddenly I was in charge of marine sanctuaries, estuarine reserves, because the NOAA person in charge was a Dr. Nancy. So DNR had to have a Dr. Jenny. Marine? I was a freshwater girl. Okay, you learn. Then suddenly Dr. Gissendanner put me in charge of artificial reefs, and thanks to Ron Lukens, I quickly learned what an artificial reef was. That was really strange. Within days, I was at a meeting in Jacksonville, and Ron is prepping me for it. So then I got into more specific fishery management, not only the artificial reef program, but angler outreach, and ended up with Gulf States as a commissioner when we came into Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. And those have been the best years of state employment. Gulf States really has been phenomenal. It's been challenging, it's been interesting, the people have been wonderful to work with, very patient in explaining a lot of things to me. I learned so much. And as you saw from the slides, yeah, they drug me into a whole bunch of places, kicking and screaming, like, can we go, can we go? I only had one trip that I was anxious about, and that was the first one. Overnight, on a boat, with a whole bunch of people I did not know, and I'd never been on a boat overnight. A little boat. No ocean liner should be smaller than New Zealand, is my mind. And we're out there tied up to an oil rig or near it, and I'm going, what am I gonna do? It worked out great, and it was just the beginning. And I love that carbon. That is just spectacular, and it will have a prominent place. So I just thank you very much, and I just didn't realize I'd done all those things you were mentioning. You know, it was a job, things needed to be done, they needed to be done on time, and whether I did them or convinced someone else to do them, that was just what you did. So thank you very much.
One last thing, Jenny, you're now a Charles H. Lyles Award winner, which gives you Commissioner Emeritus status. You are now free to come to any of our meetings, no registration, just come and be with us at any time that you feel free to do so. That's one of the things that we have is for our award winners. Any business, anything, any announcement? 1:30? Let's go back to work and earn our pay, huh?